Roger,
So my guess is, I mean, he's recused himself from most of it.
Yeah, so.
I didn't hear anything about Ted.
Everybody's ready, we can start.
guys all situated, or you need another minute?
Ready to go.
John, Maggie, you good, or you need another minute?
I beg your pardon?
Are you okay to start, or do you need
yes,
another minute?
I'm sorry, yes.
Okay, Dave, you good? Okay, good evening, everybody. I'm going to call this special meeting of the Oradell Mayor and Council for Thursday, February 19th to order. Time is now 7:32 p.m. Notice of this meeting was published in the official newspapers and prominently posted in Borough Hall and filed with the municipal clerk in accordance with the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act. We'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilman Kern.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Laura, can we have a roll call, please?
Sure. Mayor Koth.
Here.
Mr. Kelly.
Here.
Mr. Tashian is not here this evening. Mr. Kern.
Here.
Mr. Gullo, I believe, is on his way. Mrs. Hare.
Here.
Mr. Banfield.
Here.
Okay. I'm just going to give a little script for what we're trying to accomplish here tonight. There's not a ton on the agenda. There's three parts to this, I guess I'll say. I was able to retrieve my state of Oradell out of my computer that died on me last week. I am going to deliver that address tonight. We then have two resolutions on the agenda, consent agenda to be passed. We have a number of ordinance introductions. So just to set the expectation, the ordinance introductions are by title only, which means we say we are introducing this ordinance, here's the title, we move on. The public dialogue on the ordinance comes at the next meeting, which is on March 10th. Anybody may get up under public comment when I open the floor under non-agenda items if you'd like to make a statement about any of these ordinances. If you've had a chance to review them, I will tell you our time has been limited as well, because one of the ordinances our attorneys just received from the State Department of Community Affairs late on Friday afternoon. So this starts a process whereby after tonight, these ordinances and the amended housing plan are available for public inspection at the clerk's office. We then send those ordinances to the planning board, who will be meeting week after next. The planning board will review, discuss, there's public comment on the ordinances at that meeting. The planning board will return a recommendation to the council at our meeting on March 10th. That will be the time which we have the second reading of the ordinances, and we will have a public hearing on each ordinance where anybody will be heard on whatever it is they'd like to comment upon, state about, or question on those specific ordinances. Kind of close the affordable housing loop. We are working feverishly to meet, as most other towns in the state of New Jersey, a deadline set by the state of March 15th to have these documents adopted. Might they change after March 15th? Perhaps. Might be an insignificant change. It might be a clerical change. There might be something of substance. If it changes, we have to go through the same process. It's a two-meeting process. We introduce it. We have a second meeting, which is a public hearing. We then vote on that. So the only thing that's happening tonight with regard to the ordinances is they're being introduced. Nothing is being voted on tonight for approval. Right, Bill, I got that accurate summary? Okay. So thank you. Saved me a lot of money. So I'm going to start off on a lighter note and talk about Oradell before we get to the consent agenda. And at the end of my address, I have a announcement as part of it that I think most people in this town will find as a very positive and enlightening thing. So stay tuned. I got a couple of pages here. But good evening, and thank you all for being here tonight. It is both an honor and a privilege to sit before you as the mayor of the borough of Oradell to deliver my second State of the Borough address. I would like to begin by expressing my sincere gratitude to our residents, our Borough Council, our dedicated municipal employees and consultants, our volunteers, our first responders, and everyone who gives their time and energy to making Oradell an extraordinary community. This town thrives because of all of you. Oradell has always been defined by more than its borders. It is defined by our shared values, our sense of responsibility to one another, and our commitment to preserving the character of our town while planning carefully and responsibly for the future. Tonight, I would like to reflect on where we are, what we have accomplished together, and where we are headed as a borough. Before I do, I must recognize two individuals who have given so much to our community. Former Council President Steve Carnival and former Councilman Michael Staff have concluded their service on the governing body. Their leadership, dedication, and steady commitment to Oradell made a meaningful and lasting impact. And I am personally grateful for their partnership and their service. I'd also like to warmly welcome Councilwoman Maggie Harrer and Councilman Dave Banfield to the governing body. In speaking with both Maggie and Dave, it is clear that we share a common vision, one rooted in community, practicality, and long-term stewardship. I am confident that together we will continue to move Oradell forward successfully in 2026 and beyond. We live in a time when much of what we see and hear at the national and global levels can be unsettling, to say the least. It is easy to become distracted by events far beyond our control. But our strength does not come from what happens elsewhere. Our strength comes from within this community. This governing body is not here to debate matters outside of our jurisdiction. Our mission is clear and focused: to protect the health, safety, and welfare of our residents, to enhance the quality of life in our community, and to ensure that Oradell remains a place where families can thrive. I want to share a conversation that reminded me why that mission matters so deeply. Many of you remember celebrating Hesley Rivera's Olympic gold medal with a parade and a welcome home celebration. As one of a few conversations, I asked her father, Henry, why? Though you live in Texas now, why do you continue to say that you're from Oradell? His answer was simple. Of all the places we've lived, no place has felt more like home than Oradell. Look at how this town celebrates my daughter. That says everything. That is who we are as a community. We show up for one another, we take pride in one another, and we create a place that people carry with them wherever they go. While there is certainly a business side to governing, we are residents first. This is our home too, and we take our responsibilities as elected officials very seriously. And we also take seriously our responsibilities as neighbors and friends. Together, we will continue to solve problems, meet challenges, and build upon our successes. In 2025, our departments once again demonstrated professionalism and dedication across every area of borough operations. So 2025 by the numbers. The strength of our borough is reflected in the work being done every single day across all of our departments. Our Department of Public Works in 2025 collected approximately 6,000 cubic yards of leaves, a 9% decrease from 2024. Managed 15 winter storm events, a 150% increase over the previous year. Used just under 1,850 tons of salt, a significant increase due to storm activity, yet reduced salt usage per storm by approximately 10% on average, saving the borough money. We've collected over 3,150 tons of trash. We've collected approximately 360 tons of commingled recycling and 430 tons of cardboard, a 130% increase over 2024. Our Office of Emergency Management issued more than 400 Oradell alert notifications related to public safety, severe weather, and road closures. They participated in the Bergen County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan, maintaining eligibility for FEMA hazard mitigation grants, and they attended specialized training in sport and special event risk management. Our police department responded to over 7,900 calls for service, a 3.5% increase over 2024. 207 of them were fire calls, 368 were medical calls, and 255 were motor vehicle crashes. I'm happy to say a 12.5% reduction from 2024. The police conducted over 1,650 motor vehicle stops, a 9% increase over 2024. They issued approximately 1,400 summonses, made 19 arrests, including 4 DWI-related arrests, investigated 45 fraud cases, a 21% increase over 2024. They logged 961 training hours to maintain professionalism and preparedness. Our volunteer fire department responded to over 360 emergencies, logged more than 10,000 volunteer man-hours, conducted 300 fire prevention inspections, and maintains an active roster of 51 members, including 12 new recruits within the last 4 years, a remarkable achievement at a time when recruitment is a challenge across Bergen County. Our building department processed over 550 construction permit applications. They processed more than 600 municipal permit applications, managed 10 zoning board and 5 planning board applications, and conducted over 1,450 inspections, achieving an average passing rate of 80% on the initial inspection. 2025 was strong financially for the borough. We maintained a 99% tax collection rate. Our municipal budget increase of 2.35% was down 58% from the 2024 increase of 4.03%. We secured over $860,000 in grant funding, and we reduced our debt ratio from 0.860% to 0.847%, even after issuing $2.8 million in new bonds. Our recreation department served 129 summer camp registrants, increasing revenue by 8%, and they produced 16 special events strengthening community engagement. These metrics are more than numbers. They reflect service, stewardship, and dedication. In 2025, we also had some major accomplishments. Last year, I outlined 5 focus areas for advancement: parks and recreation, public safety, technology, finance, and development. I am pleased to report that meaningful progress was made across nearly all of them. In parks and recreation, we hired and onboarded a new recreation director and a recreation program coordinator, and formally established a position of senior services coordinator to rebuild our recreation office. We completed construction drawings to rehabilitate and modernize the irrigation system at Hoffman Field using grant funding. We began the repair and replacement of damaged fencing at the Doug Parcells Athletic Complex. We ordered new dugout structures and team benches as part of a grant-funded multi-field rehabilitation program, which will be completed in the coming months. And we completed required base mapping to design a network of nature trails in the Memorial and Lotus Woods. In public safety, the OEM, our Office of Emergency Management, and the police department led the effort to acquire a new drone using seizure funds for use by Oradell's emergency services. And this program, managed by the Office of Emergency Management, has been very successful and beneficial to date. We've received calls from other municipalities for assistance, and at the structure fire, the fire department fought on Super Bowl weekend. The drone was used there as well with its infrared capabilities to look at where hot spots may be and what things look like from above. The borough entered into agreement with Bergen Catholic to place a Special 3 law enforcement officer on school grounds using grant funding that the school acquired. The police department unveiled one of its new frontline patrol vehicles as a retro car and a throwback to the past, putting the police department's history on display for all to see. The police department acquired 2 new motor patrol units using seizure funds, and officers are scheduled for training this spring. The Oradell Police Department command staff and frontline supervisor positions were filled in 2025, as well as the hiring of new officers to backfill vacancies. The police department replaced and upgraded body-worn cameras. They replaced the department's sidearms using seizure funds at no cost to the borough. They targeted traffic enforcement to improve pedestrian safety, which led to a 9% increase in motor vehicle stops. The police department maintained a robust community policing program throughout the community. I'm happy to report that the Oradell Fire Department acquired new thermal imaging cameras through a grant from the Federal Emergency Management Agency. And the fire department has been advancing their recruitment program to ensure someone is always there to answer the call for help. You have seen some of their hard work circulating in social media. More impressive outreach efforts are to come. And I want to commend the Oradell Fire Department for making recruitment a priority. While many other Bergen County towns are struggling for manpower, the Oradell Fire Department currently has 51 active members, 12 of which are new recruits within the last 4 years alone. The Board of Health has worked to place and make Narcan available at various public facilities within the borough to save lives with no questions asked. Technology, we retained an IT consultant to evaluate the borough's aging technology platform, cyber risks, and network functionality, and to evaluate the integration of new technologies to digitize and modernize operations and provide staff and residents with better service and efficiencies. With regard to development, the borough worked with our team of planning, legal, and financial experts to meet the requirements of and comply with the state's new affordable housing legislation to best accept mandated development by the state of New Jersey and to maintain our protection from builders' remedy legal actions by adopting and amending the borough's Fair Share Housing Element Plan, participating in the state's alternate dispute resolution program, also known as mediation, and developing new zoning parameters for various affected areas as required. Excuse me. Public Works and Engineering, the borough took delivery of New Jersey's first all-electric street sweeper, which was funded with a $381,000 grant from the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, offsetting the acquisition cost by over 60%. The transition to electric will also reduce our daily operating costs for fuel and repairs. Renovations were completed to the kitchen at the senior building, funded solely by a grant. And the borough, in partnership with PSE&G, paved 11 streets in 2025, accounting for over 4 miles of roadway resurfacing at no cost to the borough of Oradell. Administration and Finance increased investment revenue by over $100,000 and increased our annual percentage yield on investments from 2.66 to 3.03%. We closed on the acquisition of the rectory parcel adjacent Borough Hall with a grant from our District 38 legislators at no cost to the borough. And we developed an HSA, or Health Savings Account program, to help the borough and its employees combat medical premium increases of over 37% in 2026. This saved the borough approximately $265,000 and the employee pool approximately $176,000, or $8,800 per employee on average. Hopefully, greater participation in 2027 will lead to greater savings for both the employees and the borough. I want to thank the governing body for their shared vision, support, and investment of borough resources into these initiatives, and to our dedicated staff and professionals for making them happen. While we have much to reflect upon and celebrate, we must continue to build upon our successes and move Oradell forward. Accordingly, I am calling upon the governing body for their continued support and investment of the following actions in 2026. With Parks and Recreation, to complete all of our open field modifications and improvements that are currently underway, to complete our design and construction work on the Memorial and Lotus Woods nature trails, to fund design work to renovate Grant Field to provide for more reliable playing conditions and to accommodate additional and varied sports use, and to fund design work to renovate Sherrod Park and Veldrum Place, transforming it into our modern-day town square, where events can be held, art incorporated, and to provide greater daily use for pedestrians and passersby. To pursue once again, with proper education and outreach, the establishment of a municipal open space trust fund by way of a non-binding ballot question. To expand recreational offerings and programs for residents of all ages and families. To build on the success of our much-attended summer concert series by the creation of a complimentary outdoor summer movie series. To provide funding for seasonal recreation staff to support improved field maintenance, new events, and the operation of various other recreational facilities. When I grew up in this town, our youth was the heart and soul of recreational operations management under the direction of Director Doug Parcells. It's time to create and make opportunities available for our kids again to work for rec as we knew it. earn some pocket change, and take pride in the work that they are doing for the benefit of themselves and their friends. And to celebrate our nation's 250th anniversary in style, with expanded activities surrounding the July 4th holiday weekend, including an expanded fireworks display and new pre-fireworks event. In public safety, to work to place a Special 3 law enforcement officer on school grounds at the Oradell Public School, completing a 2-year initiative to place an officer at each school within the borough. To advance pedestrian safety through targeted enforcement initiatives, improved striping and signage, improved lighting along our downtown corridor and at our community's busiest crosswalks. And through the addition of traffic cameras at Oradell Avenue and Kindercamack Road, and Oradell Avenue and Forest Avenue, 2 of our busiest and most active intersections. To evaluate the use of a shared dispatch center with the county or other entities, allowing for additional police officers to be freed up for patrol, while allowing the most efficient use of resources and technology. To evaluate, fund, and begin the process of designing and constructing a proper municipal police facility to be compliant with today's standards and beyond. And to fund, design, and construct modifications to provide much-needed administrative space and make fire headquarters ADA accessible. In technology, to fund and implement a new technology master plan across all borough operations to provide greater efficiency and access to Borough Hall. And to centralize the management, maintenance, and security of all borough IT systems that will be central to daily operations. For administration and finance, to charge the Strategic Planning Committee with the evaluation of current and proposed ratables on municipal finances while continuing to identify efficiencies and reduction in cost to make Oradell more affordable. And to place greater emphasis on how we manage human capital by establishing a formal human resources element within administration to manage our employees' experience within the borough and to invest in and train our workforce while working to attract, develop, and maintain our workforce. And while financially we had another positive year, my new motto will continue to be, we have to do more. Accordingly, I am asking the governing body, in the face of continued cost increases, to work hard to approve a 2026 operating budget under last year's 2% municipal increase while maintaining proper funding to sustain borough operations. For development, to streamline and strengthen our land use and approval processes by joining our zoning and planning boards into a new joint land use board, allowing members of both boards to bring their varied knowledge and expertise to continue to plan for Oradell's future while guarding and maintaining the character of our town. I call upon the new joint land use board, once established, to assume and complete the work advanced by the current planning board of re-examining the town's master plan and adopting said recommendations. I will also appoint a joint committee comprised of borough and school officials from both Oradell Public and Riverdale Regional to evaluate and plan for any impacts and potential outcomes that affect the borough and our school systems resulting from development of new inclusionary projects within the borough. Engineering and Public Works, we will continue to partner with PSC&G to upgrade our gas distribution infrastructure and road resurfacing program. And I ask for the governing body's support to restore funding for the sidewalk repair program we once had to reduce hazards, make our town more walkable, and ADA accessible. I ask for the governing body's support in providing needed capital funding to repair and make improvements to our DPW facility and make targeted equipment acquisitions, allowing our staff to provide a high quality and level of service to our residents. And lastly, I'm asking for the governing body to support funding to freshen up our downtown business district by providing the necessary resources and funds to repair pavements, acquire and maintain additional seasonal decorations, and repair and replace any broken or missing appurtenances such as benches, trash cans, and/or landscape elements. As we look ahead, I'm confident in Oradell's future, not because challenges don't exist, but because this community consistently meets them with cooperation, common sense, and care for one another. I'd like to pause for a moment to build upon that sentiment and make a significant announcement that earlier today, I received notice that the judge in the alternate dispute resolution program has recommended the acceptance of Oradell's fair share housing plan. This is a hard-earned victory for our town. This doesn't mean that change is not coming to Oradell. What it means is that we will control the change versus outside entities dictating to us what we will accept. We still have many tasks to accomplish, most of which is the main premise for tonight's special meeting. However, we received the best possible outcome we have hoped for through the mediation process. We've assembled a talented team of professionals. We're pragmatic, leaned on our credibility that we have met and honored past commitments, and that resonated with the special adjudicator and the judge. While legal action still continues at the federal level opposing the legislation, and Oradell remains an active participant, however, we did what I said we were going to do. We stated our objections, stood up for what we believed in, while we planned to implement the new legislation. And I'm happy to report that Oradell is in a strong position because of our approach and actions. While most are not here this evening, I want to recognize all of our professionals and staff who have spent countless hours working on the borough's affordable housing mandate. Thank you very much. Progress in Oradell has never been about sweeping gestures. It has always been about steady and thoughtful decisions made with a long-term vision and health of our borough in mind. I want to thank our residents for your engagement, your trust, and your continued pride in our community. Together, we will continue to protect what makes Oradell special while ensuring it remains a safe, vibrant, and welcoming space for generations to come. I want to thank you for your time this evening, for your commitment to our borough, and for being part of the ongoing story of Oradell. It's truly an honor to serve as your mayor. Thank you very much. Okay. Having now completed that, we'll move on to public comment. I'll entertain a motion to open the floor for public comment on non-agenda items only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. The floor is now open for public comment on non-agenda items.
All as soon as from the beautiful Beverly Road. Very, very enlightening and a good state of the town.
Thank you.
Congratulate you. It was very well done and impressive.
Thank you, Paul.
I just have a few things that I just jotted down now that I'd say. The only thing is now, on the ordinances, I know that we can't say anything about the ordinances, and I do want to comment on the resolution later when it's time. And I gotta be ready for it this time. Affordable housing control and deciding changes. They're very important, what you just said. To me, we fought a good fight, and we're still going to be fighting. I understand that. You know, I commend the council and the mayor for this fight. I have a few other items that I want to talk about, and that was I went to the senior breakfast. I had asked for a breakfast to be a pancake breakfast for the Valentine's Day, and however, I thought that I'd be flipping the pancakes, but it wasn't ready to be done. But Tina went ahead and made a brunch out of it, and it was very successful. It was a wonderful brunch for the seniors. On another note, on the theater, I went to the theater to see the previous rehearsal that they had for the seniors. And that night, I realized something, because there wasn't any police officer there, Tom, for crossing. There weren't too many people because it was very cold that night. And there must have been maybe about 20 people came to the theater. However, when I went to cross the street, the flashing yellow didn't work. So I think maybe it wasn't, generated by the sun. You know, the solar thing probably didn't work long enough because it was cold or something. But that's what I found out. The other thing was that when I went to park my car there at the Walgreens parking lot, public parking area, it was full. Luckily, somebody had left when I got there. But it was full not because of the people that went to the theater. I guess full probably because of the people that went to the restaurant. So the thing that I'm concerned about is when we have these theaters, if that night everybody decided to go and see this theater, where were they going to park? Because there was parking on the streets. There was parking all over the place. They'd probably have to park really far away down by Jay's Pharmacy or something. So that spillover from the restaurants is affecting that, especially on theater nights. The other thing, how are we doing on time? The ordinance that I asked for storefronts. I was hoping that maybe you would include that in one as an ordinance today, but if you could still make that ordinance that we must have buildings must have storefronts. If you could still work on that. And I do want to commend, and I hope the DPW makes it again. It's another home run because I understand we're going to have a big storm again this weekend coming, so they got to get ready. From what I've been hearing on the news, so I thank you for everything that you've done, and you've accomplished a lot in the last year and a half.
Thank you, Paul. We've got a lot of
Thank you.
dedicated colleagues up here who are all churning the midnight oil on behalf of the town, so
Yeah, thank you.
thank you.
Sam Tripsis, 327 Maple Avenue. Just I have a question on the train station grant, and I guess I'd like to know who the point of contact is with the architect down in Trenton, and how often we get updates.
Right, it's the administrator. I can find out from him. I know he's been in regular contact
All right.
with the project manager at the architectural firm.
Okay, because it comes up on the historic committee monthly, and so my next question is, could we possibly for our meetings get updates?
Yep.
So it's a priority for all of us. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Anyone else for public comment on non-agenda items? Not, I'll entertain a motion to close for non-agenda items.
So moved.
We have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to open public comment for consent agenda items only.
So moved.
We have a second.
Okay, once again, Paul Atsunas from
Second.
Beverly Road.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm sorry.
Okay, motion carries. Go ahead,
Sorry I
Paul.
interrupted you.
No problem.
Once again, this one, 2668, and I don't know of any place in town that's in need of redevelopment as far as condemning it. Is that what we're doing here? This is authorizing planning board to undertake investigation to determine whether or we're doing an investigation to find out if it's.
Correct.
Is this the, I don't know what, Borough Block 807, what is it? Do you know what it refers to? Or?
7800 Kinderkamak Road, the
Oh.
north end of town, the large office buildings. This is to conduct a study to determine whether or not, and it says is a study for a non-condemnation area. So we're not looking to condemn anything, but we need to conduct a study as part of moving ahead with the zoning changes we're putting in and settlements that we have to engage with some of the people that came before the dispute resolution program.
So it's the office buildings, non-condemnation.
Correct.
Okay. In need of redevelopment, I guess redevelopment for the fact that these office complexes can't make any money anymore, and because nobody wants to go to the office anymore.
Right.
So So we're going to bail them out, I guess, by allowing them to have affordable housing there, I guess. And that's what's happening all over.
Well, part of our plan, Paul, that I just mentioned tonight was recommended to be approved by the judge included rezoning 690, 700, and 800 Kindercamack Road to allow for inclusionary development, which is housing.
Yeah. Okay, so all of those ordinances, the details are going to be posted?
So the ordinances will be made available by the clerk. There is a little confusion because right now they seem kind of hieroglyphical, if you would. The ordinances speak to the amendments in the code. It's not a clear read of what the code should say. So I talked to the borough attorney. We're going to talk to Affordable Housing Council, who is responsible for drafting them. We're going to see if we can get a clean version that shows the edits, not just what is being changed. Because what we have before us tonight are the changes, right? An ordinance can be 15 pages long.
Yeah.
We have an ordinance that's 2 pages because it just says you're going to change these 6 things. They don't want to necessarily redo an ordinance 15 pages long for 5 changes.
Well-
So in my estimation, Councilman Banfield brought this up before. I agree with him. It reads a little unclear and a little foggy, so we're going to work to get hopefully a, what do I want to say, a redlined or the ordinance with track changes in it so you can see the differences that are being proposed.
Okay, is there a time limit for that we have to have?
It should be available tomorrow. What we're voting on now will be available tomorrow.
Okay.
This cleaned up, different version I'm talking about, which might be easier to understand, hopefully can be available tomorrow as well.
Okay. Will it be put on the internet also?
Laura, do we normally do that, or is it just available at your office for inspection?
Whenever you want,
I would hope that it would be.
talk to the attorney about what should go in the notice, how do we put it on the website so people understand.
Well, that's the cleaned up version.
Yeah, we should put the,
Can you turn your mic on?
Yeah.
I have no objection to being as transparent as we're allowed to be.
Yes.
So Bill and I will discuss this with the special counsel for affordable housing in the morning,
Yeah.
and I'll let you know.
Yeah, because there are
If
people
we can
that
do it, we'll do it.
there are people that they go and they look
Oh, I
at
get
these
it.
things online.
Yep.
And I know there's a lot of people watching here tonight, even though
So-
there aren't too many people here.
Point of information, this version is currently online and on the bulletin board since about 4 o'clock when we got the last one. But I'll talk with the mayor on what he wants to be put up.
Yeah.
If we put both versions up or in different file folders, we'll try to make it as,
Oh, there's a version right now on the board?
been since 4 o'clock, yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
since 4 o'clock,
Yeah.
okay.
That's when I got the last one, so.
Okay, well,
yeah.
all right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Paul. Anyone else on agenda items only? If not, I'll entertain a motion to close.
Close.
So moved.
We have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Does any member of the council wish to pull either of the resolutions for separate discussion, question, and/or vote? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Do we have a
Actually,
second?
I'm sorry, I was looking for the number that I wanted.
Sure.
There's one, I just have some questions. I don't want to exclude them as much as I just want to ask some questions,
Okay.
if that's okay. I was confused a little bit by how they evaluate the medium income, because when the medium income is listed, it's a range. And then it said it's supposed to be 44%, but 44% of what? The medium of the range of the medium? Or how do you allocate, how do they decide the actual eligible income?
It's a good question. Unfortunately, I think the planner's got to answer that one. Bill, unless you have something to add.
Okay.
Are you referring to the 2 resolutions?
Well, it's page 20 and 21 in Resolution 2668.
Yeah, our
It's on
plan.
page 20 and 21, and it had reference to eligibility being 44% or 60%.
I think that's an
depending on-
ordinance,
Pardon?
that's ordinance 26-1 you're referring to.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're talking about resolutions now, not ordinances.
Oh, I'll hold off then until we're on the ordinance. Sorry.
Okay.
Mayor, we do have a motion for the resolutions.
Yep. Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Kern?
Yes.
Ms. Hare?
Yes.
Mr. Banfield?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So next up, we have introduction, which we will do separately. Ordinances 26-1, 26-2, 26-3, 26-4, 26-5, 26-6. John, just before we start the introduction by title only, Bill, just clarify for the council. Questions, comments, reserve them. Right, we're introducing by title only.
It's by title only, and the law is really structured the way it is so that the public gets adequate notice of when there's actually the real discussion on it. So theoretically, there's people aren't here tonight because they're going to get notice
Right.
that it's going to be on March 10th for the real hearing. So
Right.
generally, an introduction discussion is very limited.
Right.
Because that's not the official record of the adoption of the ordinance. That just gets the process going to have it noticed, published, and scheduled and referred to the planning board.
Understood. Go ahead, Maggie.
So my question would be ordinance number 26-1 on page 2021, where it talks about the maximum rent for moderate income, no more than 60% of the medium income, and it says the same thing for the lower price, which is,
What page are you on?
I'm sorry, page 20, and leading over to 21. And it's 7...
7I, F.
Yeah,
FI,
7I.
F1.
Yeah, FI. So I guess my question was, because the medium income is always listed as a range,
Right.
and how do
So
you...
I have an easy answer for you.
Okay.
NJAC 5:80-26.4 governs this section of the ordinance. State sets it.
I think it's annually, the state actually issues the numbers
Guidance.
by region.
Right.
Because Bergen County tends to have a higher income level.
Right.
Our median income that's established by the state and the percentage is higher than, say, in South Jersey, a more rural area where the
Right.
income levels are much lower. But it's more affordable, you know, to buy a house in Oradell is different than buying a house in Gloucester County. You know.
But its criteria is set by the state.
Set
not
by the
us.
state, yeah.
Okay, so they'll set the figure.
They set it, yes.
So we don't, it's not
We have
something
no
we're doing. Okay.
control or say in that process.
Okay. I had a couple
And then
other-
our affordable housing agent that we hired at the last meeting, part of what they do is they get the guidelines and people that are applying for it verify their income levels or the range and things like that.
Okay, great. And then I had a question about, unfortunately, I left my notes at home as to which ordinance it was. This looks like this is it. Ordinance number 26-4. I was very confused about this B1, eliminating B3 and putting in B1. B3 was business and apartment zone, but then it says, but B1 is just business zone, but we're doing this to make housing, right? That's 26-4 on page 1, actually. And then it comes up several other times. So I'm a little confused. Are you going to zone different sections of certain properties, different zones? Or how do you, if you're getting rid of B3, which is a combination business and apartment, and we're talking about Kindercramack Road, for example, where
Right.
we talked about having some businesses on the first floor and residences on the second floor, doesn't that need to be B3, or am I misunderstanding?
No, so that's, the B1 zone is the general downtown area, and the central business district overlay zone is what allows for housing on top of the B1 use.
Okay, so you
That
don't
was
need it to be
previously
B-
agreed to in round 3 between
Okay.
the borough and fair share housing.
Okay, thank you. So you don't need it to be B3 because that already covers it.
No, so B3 is actually on the south end of town, which we are looking to change to B1.
Correct.
And extend the central business district overlay. So to Mr. Latsunis's point, you would have storefronts on the first floor
And housing.
with residential above.
Okay, I did not understand that. Okay, thank you. And then, and I don't know if this has to do with ordinance 26.5 or not, but they're talking about, the property at, on Kinderkramek and, what's the name of that street? It's the wrong street listed here. Anyway, when they were originally, that was what used to be the Subaru dealership, and when they were originally talking about redeveloping it.
And that's 66?
What?
66?
66, yeah. They did not do an efficient traffic study. And I don't know, maybe this is premature, maybe it's when a development idea comes in, then we talk about that, because I live in that area. And there's a big curve on there at Kinderkramek, and there are certain parts, certain times a day when you don't even want to go down on Kinderkramek and try to get across it.
Right.
And so what they had said was that the traffic was not a problem, and I thought, gee, come live with me for a week and I'll change your mind. But is this the time to mention that, or does that come out on a specific development?
So this is ordinance 26.3.
26.5, I think I'm talking.
26.5 is 800, 700, and 690 Kinderkramek Road. 26.3 covers 66 Kinderkramek. So what's happening here, Maggie, is that this was in a B3 zone prior. It was zoned for business. The use for residential was a variance. One of the things that the adjudicator requested of the borough was that this site be considered as of zoned right for housing in addition to the business use. So
Okay.
you'd have a business use on the first floor,
Right.
but you'd allow residential above.
Right.
They'd no longer need to come for a variance before the board to allow the residential.
Okay, because that's already happened.
And we felt that that was consistent with what's going on the rest of the Kinderkramek corridor.
Okay.
And that would be appropriate for this site. Not to dive too deep into it, but this site's also limited at 2 stories.
Right. So, but where did we put in the idea of traffic studies?
That all comes as site plan review.
So they still would have to go to
the
the
planning
land
board.
use board,
Yes.
Planning zone.
site plan approval and things like that, and that's
And
where
that's the
your
time.
typical,
Okay.
traffic, parking, those criteria are evaluated and what have you. Because it's before my time, but as I understand it, the application that they previously submitted was denied by the board. Then they appealed that to the court, and the court actually upheld the board's denial.
Okay.
But you still have to go through the site plan process for any of these developments.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
I have a couple questions. And
Yes, Dave.
Tell me also if this is better saved for, for another meeting regarding 26.1. First of all, there are innumerable legal references, citations, and I just want to ask, it should be a rhetorical question, but the citations have been double-checked, right? It seems like to me it could be very easy with the, colons and parentheses and subparagraphs to make a typo on those. I don't know if it's materially important, but I just want to make sure that, those references have been
Yep.
vetted.
So we have time to triple and quadruple check this. This is the model ordinance that the Department of Community Affairs provided to our professionals Friday afternoon.
So that
So
gives
they've had a lot of
some
time to turn this around, and that was statewide.
Right.
We're not special in that regard. So this, again, is a model ordinance set by the state that we have to tailor and adopt to insert Oradell and our specific things like our fee schedule and so forth into this in the appropriate
It's
spaces.
essentially a template.
Yeah, but we absolutely have the time between now and March 10th to, dive into whatever needs to be discussed about
Then
that.
I'll save all my other questions about it until we've accomplished that, with one exception.
Okay?
What is a one and one half person household?
What
A
page
very
is that on?
small person.
Any idea, Bill?
No.
Okay, fine, just
Sorry.
checking. Thanks.
I don't know if we can get 1.5 credits for a unit. I'm
Yeah,
happy to entertain that. Okay. Is that it, Dave? John, Tom, anything? Okay. Fire away, John.
All right, so, Mayor, ordinance number 26-1 is ready for first reading.
Will the Borough Clerk read ordinance number 26-1 by title only?
An ordinance to amend the Borough Code to include a new affordable housing and development fee ordinance.
So the explanatory statement on this is that this is the state's model affordable housing ordinance that all municipalities are regarded or required
I'm
to
sorry,
apply.
Mr. Mayor, I can't understand you. I'm sorry.
This is the state's model ordinance that Dave just asked the questions on, that all the municipalities are required to adopt. In a nutshell, that's the best explanatory overview I could provide.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that ordinance number 26-1 be passed on the first reading and published in the Wednesday, February 25th edition of the Bergen Record.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Kern?
Yes.
Ms. Harrer?
Yes.
Mr. Banfield?
Yes.
All right, Mayor, ordinance number 26-2 is ready for first reading.
Will the Borough Clerk read ordinance number 26-2 by title only?
An ordinance to amend the Borough Code to include a new inclusionary zone district for Block 716, Lot 14 and 15 in the Borough of Oradell, Bergen County, New Jersey.
Brief explanation is this was a settlement agreement the council agreed to with the owner of 445 Kinderkamak. This is the required ordinance to amend the zoning to allow their inclusionary development on this site.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that the ordinance number 26-2 is passed on the first reading and published in the Wednesday, February 25th edition of the Bergen Record.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Kern?
Yes.
Ms. Harrer? Mr. Banfield?
Yes.
Mayor, ordinance number 26-3 is ready for first reading.
Will the Borough Clerk read ordinance number 26-3 by title only?
An ordinance to amend the Borough Code to include a new inclusionary zone district for 66 Kinderkamak Road, Block 113, Lot 5 in the Borough of Oradell, Bergen County, New Jersey.
So brief explanatory statement. This was the parcel at 66 Kinderkamak we just discussed, where the special adjudicator asked that as of right, it allowed to be zoned to include residential and not just be a business designation.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that ordinance number 26-3 be passed on first reading and published in the Wednesday, February 25th edition of the Bergen Record.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Kern?
Yes.
Ms. Harrer?
Yes.
Mr. Banfield?
Yes.
All right, Mayor, ordinance number 26-4 is ready for first reading.
Will the Borough Clerk read ordinance number 26-4 by title only?
An ordinance to amend sections 240-6.2, 240-6.5, 240-6.6, and 240-11.11 of the Borough Code.
So a brief explanation is that this allows the B1 zone to extend into and replace the B3 zone, which also carries with it the Central Business District overlay to allow for residential on the second floor.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for ordinance number 26-4 to be passed on the first reading and published in the Wednesday, February 25th edition of the Bergen Record.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Kern?
Yes.
Ms. Harrer?
Yes.
Mr. Banfield?
Yes.
All right, Mayor, ordinance number 26-5 is ready for first reading.
Will the Borough Clerk read ordinance number 26-5 by title only?
An ordinance of the Borough of Oradell amending the borough's code, specifically Chapter 240-6.2, Article 6, zones designated, boundaries established.
Okay, brief explanatory statement is that this covers the parcels of 800, 700, and 690 Kinderkamak Road to provide zoning in an overlay zone on top of the B2 to provide for inclusionary development.
All right, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that ordinance number 26-5 is passed on first reading and published in the Wednesday, February 25th edition of the Bergen Record.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Kern.
Yes.
Ms. Hare.
Yes.
Mr. Banfield.
Yes.
All right, Mayor, and finally, ordinance number 26-6 is ready for first reading.
Will the Borough Clerk read ordinance number 26-6 by title only?
An ordinance to amend sections 240-6.5M and 240-6.50 of the Borough Code to revise the required affordable set-aside.
So a brief explanatory statement. This affirms the borough's position that there's a 20% mandatory set-aside on all inclusionary developments.
All right, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that ordinance number 26-6 is passed on first reading and published in the Wednesday, February 25th edition of the Bergen Record.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Kern.
Yes.
Ms. Hare.
Yes.
Mr. Banfield.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you all. We will, if there's an issue with anybody's ability to see documents, please speak with the clerk's office, or you can speak with the administrator to get through to me. We want to be as much as transparent as possible on this, so we're going to make sure we get those documents cleaned up so you can better understand them. And we'll be ready to hear the recommendations of the planning board and public comment at the public hearing on March 10th. That has concluded our business for this evening. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much, everybody.